Are you like you totally accept yourself, you totally appreciate yourself, you totally love yourself, you are good to go. You don't doubt, you know what I'm saying? You got all the confidence in the world, you are strong in your faith, you are on 10 all the time, you got it together, you straight. Well, if that's you, right? If you have no problem with doubting yourself, getting down on yourself sometimes, limiting yourself sometimes, if you are always on 10, you 100, you got it going on, well, I want you to, as we like to say, swipe up. Right? Just keep swiping. This ain't the episode for you. This you are not in the right place. Okay. I want you to cut me off right now. This is not the place for you. Today's episode is dedicated and committed to those of us who sometimes struggle with self-doubt, self-deflating ideas. Many of you guys know I wrote a book called What Is Enough. I don't know if I have a copy of it around me right now. No, actually, no. Yeah, I've been taking my copies all over the place, so I don't have a copy to show this morning. But in my book, What Is Enough, I address this topic, this idea, right, of what I call deflation. We are in a society that will condition us and train us, and I'm going to be getting into that in just a moment, to self deflate, right? Because when we talk about doubting ourselves, it's really a form of deflation, right? Like a balloon, right? You blow a balloon up full of air, you inflate or you inspire, right? Many times you've heard me tie this together with Genesis chapter 1, where God creates man from the dust of the earth and he formed man and blew the breath of life into man's nostrils and we became a living being, right? He inspired us, right? We went from a lump of clay to a living being, but we didn't begin to live until we were inspired, until we received the breath of life. Well, in the same way, we are deflated like a balloon when we get the air, boom, knocked out of us, right? Can you relate? Can you relate to getting the air knocked out of you? Maybe you wanted to try something. Maybe you wanted to do something in your life. Maybe you had a goal, a dream, an ambition, a vision, right? You wanted to start a business, a ministry. There was something that you wanted to do and you got the air knocked out of you. Guys, leave me a comment, right? Leave me a comment. If you can relate to what I'm saying, if you can relate to what I'm saying, guys, drop me a I can relate, right? Just let me know that you can feel me, right? Because there are moments, all of us, where we want to be on 10, but we find ourselves at a 2 or a 3. We want to go for that thing, but then there's challenges and roadblocks and issues that come up that challenge our belief in ourselves, right? And so I want to share my screen and do a PowerPoint this morning. I was running a little bit late. I was recording my podcast, and I just didn't manage my time that well this morning. So forgive me for such a bland PowerPoint, but I had to just throw it together, copy and paste from my notes really, really quickly so that I could go live on time. So I didn't want to go live late and be of a disservice to and to not line up with what I'm putting out there, right? I think that integrity and consistency are fundamental, right, to any great movement and to any great success. And so I didn't want to go live late, so the PowerPoint isn't on 10; it's probably at like a 3, but it will get the point across. And so let me share my screen as we jump into this because I want to ask you guys a couple of questions specifically around what I have on this PowerPoint. All right, so let me go ahead and share. And let me go back to my screen to make sure that I am projecting correctly. Yes. All right, sweet. And so now let me go back to my PowerPoint. All right. All right. So I want to start off with the question, right? What are you, right? So the question is, what about you are you doubting? What about you are you doubting, right? So we have to ask ourselves, what is it about us that we're doubting? Are we doubting our significance in this world, our significance in relationship to other people? Are we doubting our abilities? Are we doubting whether or not we can or cannot do something, right? Our ability to achieve something, our ability to follow through on something, right? I know for me, starting this podcast, early on when I first had the idea of starting a podcast, it was, you know, from a technical perspective, because I have content, I have, volumes, vaults of content. So I have something to say, but I did not start the podcast as soon as I would have liked because I think that in many ways I doubted the technical skills. I doubted my ability to really embrace the technical parts because I don't like the IT world. I don't like the IT language. I don't like having to do a lot of technical stuff because technology fails. Anyway, blah blah blah. But I was doubting my ability to produce a quality podcast because of my doubt about whether or not I could follow through on a consistent basis when it came to the technical components. But obviously, I've gotten beyond that, and I'm practicing what I preach. And so the question is for you: are you questioning your ability, or are you questioning your relevance? Right? Sometimes we feel inadequate. Sometimes we feel like we're not relevant in today's movements, right? I won't call out any names. I won't call out any names because I don't want to create that type of platform. But the movements that are in our day. The propaganda that's out there. The sides that we're picking nowadays, right? From a social level, from an economic level, from a governmental level, right? From a social justice level, from a faith level, right? There are so many different things that's happening in our world, and sometimes we're doubting our relevance. Like, do I have a voice, right? As a young child growing up, being fat, overweight, stuttering, and having a lot of uh, things in my life that I weren't proud of, right? Family situations or situations with my parents or things that were happening to me. Many times, all of those things, piled up, and I didn't feel like I had a voice because if I spoke out, if I said something, who's going to listen? Who's going to follow my lead? I certainly wasn't a leader, right, in my own mind. And so sometimes we can feel like we don't have relevance in today's culture, right? So, what is it about you? If you're in a situation, if you're in a position in life right now where you are doubting yourself, because today we're talking about self doubt, what is it about you that you're doubting? Is it significance? Is it ability? Is it relevance? All right. Next, how is doubt developed? And what I've learned, and please drop me comments. I'll pause kind of through my teaching, through my sharing to change the screen to see if there's any comments. If you guys have questions, if you guys have comments, if you agree with something, if you disagree with something, I want to welcome you to engage with me. Chop it up, guys. Saturday mornings, the I Am the Possible broadcast. This is an open forum. Okay, I don't take offense to much. I take very little personally. I don't internalize anything that's not going to benefit me. And so feel free, right? Comment away. Let me know how you feel. Let me know where you are. If I make a good point, give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you're rocking with me. If you don't like something I say, give me a thumbs down, whatever. But I want to engage and I want to chop it up with you guys this morning. So, how is doubt developed? Well, I've discovered that it's developed two ways. Number one, it's exposure. And I'm going to get into the three elements of exposure in just a moment. But exposure equals education. Now, the word education within this context, right? Within this context, education means to train or to lead out. The very root word of education means to lead out. That means, as a simple mathematical equation, whatever I expose myself to has the potential to educate me or train my thoughts, my thought patterns, my belief systems, and then lead me in a certain direction. That's powerful to understand, guys. That's critical to understand that wherever I expose myself, whatever I expose myself to, it has the ability to educate me or to train and lead me in a certain direction. So my exposures have influence. My points of exposure has influence on me. So how is doubt developed? Is developed through exposure. What are you exposing yourself to? Because depending on what you're exposing yourself to, meaning the things you're watching, the things you're listening to, the people you're listening to, right? Those things, the things that you're reading, right? The things that you're watching, the things that you're observing, the things that you're paying attention to, you are exposing yourself to many, many things. And when you do that, whatever they are, they're in a sense educating or they're training you up to believe and to think a certain way. So your doubt, our doubt, has an origin. It has a beginning, and this is the beginning. Our doubt has a start. It starts with exposure that leads to education, that then leads to us having a certain idea, a certain story, a certain narrative, a certain reality that we live in and that we live through. Right? Does that make sense? Okay, cool. So let me move over to this one. Here it is, guys. These are the three elements, right, of exposure. I was grabbing this water for a reason. All right, check it out. Sources of doubt or faith, right? And I wanted to save time because I didn't want to create a million slides and then do faith because they're going to be the exact same. So before we learn how to stop self-doubt, we have to learn where it starts. If you don't know where it starts, you don't know how to stop it, right? We always look for a root cause. I'm in a medical conglomerate, right? I work for this medical conglomerate, and many facets of my job is troubleshooting, research, analysis. And whenever an end user has a problem, I'm always called upon to assist with or discover myself the root cause to the problem. If a person is experiencing slowness with our application, well, that slowness originated somewhere. So we have to do research and we have to discover, we have to analyze what's the root cause? Where did this all start? Because when you identify the root cause, then you're able to better remedy the issue. But if you don't know where it starts, then you're not going to know how to start it. I'm sorry, if you don't know where it starts, you don't know how to stop it. Okay. So learn the start, then you learn the stop. And you learn how to start the things that you want to start, right? So this is all about awareness. It's all about consciousness. It's all about us growing and learning and developing these things that are already happening, guys. They're already happening. We just have to become aware, right, and conscious to what's happening. So, all right, here we go. Check it out. Sources of doubt or faith. Okay, and you can use another word for that. It might be belief, faith, whatever for you is the opposite of doubt. Okay, so number one, environments. Now, I put a few of the environments that I experienced when I was growing up. What are the environments that you're exposing, right? Because this is all about exposure, thus education through the environment, right? Environments carry elements. Mine carried drugs when I was young, abuse, sadness. A lot of people around me were sad. A lot of people around me were angry, right? A lot of people around me just had bad attitudes. And so for me growing up, I was always in environments that had these elements. And because I was exposed to these elements in those environments, I was educated, trained, led out to feel a certain way about myself. That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope because that's exactly what happens every single time. If it's good, if it's bad, if it's negative, if it's positive, whatever the situation is, this is always going to operate. It's always going to operate, guys. Okay. Just so that you guys know, I'm turning this into a master class because I think that the things that I'm really becoming aware of needs to really be polished and packaged and really taught to more people because I think that if we become more aware of these things, right, then we become more empowered, right, to take a greater level of control over our internal conditioning, right? And instead of just allowing anything and everything to dominate and rule over our mental space. So anyway, the next one is our experiences, what they did or said. Can you guys relate to that? Right? Matter of fact, let me stop. Let me go back to the first one. Drop me I can relate for the environments. Can you relate to being in unhealthy environments? Environments that have elements in them that just tear you down, that make you feel some type of way, that just pull and drag and just deflate your energy, right? So can you relate on environments, right? Drop me a I can relate, right? I want to hear people if you can relate to this, okay? The next one is experiences. Because again, helping me to understand if you can relate helps me to understand what it is that I need to teach more on, speak more on, develop, right, more content on. So let me know if I'm on the right track here. Next, experiences, right? What they did or what they said. For me, growing up again, I experienced a gang of abuse. I was molested sexually by family members, by strangers. I was bullied. People in my neighborhood. I was talked about. I was ridiculed. I was picked on for things that were out of my control. Right? I experienced a lot of abuse. I was exposed to seeing and witnessing a lot of abuse. I would see drug dealers and gangsters in the hood beat up on people or rob people, do things to people, horrible, horrible things that have a negative impact on the way that you think, the way that you feel, man. Like I grew up with that, and that cultivates some fear. That cultivates anxiety, man. This is not no, back then I just thought it was par for course. Like this is just the hood, we just doing hood things. But now as I grow and I evolve and I look back at those things that I was involved in and I witnessed, that ain't no game, man. That ain't no game. And I thank God every day. I thank God that I and my wife can raise our four children in a healthy social environment, right? It ain't perfect. It ain't perfect where we're at, but it is certainly not the hood, and it doesn't carry a saturation of these negative and violent and disruptive experiences. Right? Does that make sense? So let me know, guys. Can you relate to growing up, or even now? Right? You may be in homes. You may be in neighborhoods, man. You may be on a job. All of these environments create the opportunity to experience something that will, again, through that exposure to these experiences, is going to educate, it's going to train the way you think, it's going to lead you in a certain direction to conclusions about yourself. Because again, this is about self-doubt. If you are doubting yourself, it's because the exposure to these experiences, you've experienced some things, right, that have made you feel less than worthy, less than loved, less than accepted, less than appreciated, right? Okay, let's move on. Last one, expectations. I'm in a rush. I don't know about you guys, but I, for many years, played the perfectionist role. And perfectionism is nothing but fear, fear of your judgment. Guys, I'm live right now. I'm live on Periscope. I'm live on Facebook. I'm live on YouTube. Somebody could say something about me. They could. They could judge me. They could. Some will. Some do. Right? And as a perfectionist, we are so concerned with what other people think, what other people do, what other people say, how they gonna accept, how they gonna love, how they gonna embrace. What if they don't love? What if they don't accept? What if they don't embrace? All is junk. So we try to be perfect. We try to get things done faster. We try to do more things. We try to accumulate more. We try to shine a certain way. We put on a persona. We put on airs. We perform for the crowd. And I'm just at a point in my life at 43 where I ain't performing for nobody. I'm just gonna be me, man. I am so free. Maybe this is a side note testimony, but I am so free right now. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. My life ain't perfect, but I got something that I think a lot of people would value. I think a lot of people want in their lives. I have got security, I have got significance, and I have got satisfaction in me. I am extremely secure in myself. I am extremely satisfied in myself. I have a great sense of my significance in this world. That's not bragging. That's testifying from where I was to where I am and to where I'm going. And this is available for anyone. So, guys, listen, this expectation of ours, are you putting too much on you? Is the load too heavy? Are you carrying too much of a burden? Right? Maybe you don't need all that burden on yourself. Right? Are you trying to do too much because you're so afraid of what other people may think or what other people may do as a result of you not moving as fast or not accomplishing as much, right? You're self-judging, you're self-condemning, right? Are you putting on yourself expectations that are far, far too lofty and you're falling short? And this is how it ties into self-doubt. You put these lofty expectations on yourself because you're afraid of judgment. So you put these lofty expectations. I'm going to take over the world. I'm going to change the world. I'm going to do all these things. And then you put these huge goals on yourself without first developing the capacity to hold that weight, put it out there. And then when you fall short in your eyes, it crushes you. And now you doubt yourself. See, man, I'm never going to become that. I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to get it right. I'm never going to stay consistent. I'm never going to feel, I'm never going to be happy. I'm never going to find that one. Dude, that's me. I'm telling you, I felt all of that. That's why I'm so passionate about teaching this. That's why I'm so passionate about meeting you this morning because I have been there, done that, got 2 t-shirts and a hat to match. Do you feel me? Drop me a I feel you, right? On the expectations. Are you setting too high of an expectation? If you are, drop me a hashtag I feel you because I want to know, man, am I the only one? Am I crazy? Am I the only one that set crazy high expectations for myself, fall short, and then feel crushed and start to doubt myself a little more? All right. So let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. I'm gonna toggle back here. Got some comments. All right. All right. All right. We got some comments. I'm a pause for the cause, man. I'm gonna stop sharing for a moment. Boom. Come back to the full screen. I'm gonna say what up to some of these good people that's rocking with me this morning. Angelina's in the building. What's going on, sister? Let me say what. Let me click the Angelina said good morning. Good morning to you, my sister. Boom. Lawana says ability. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. And we authors. So I've been there. Yes, yes, I feel you. Belda says significance. Okay. Got some real hooks this morning. We got some real people this morning. That's awesome. Thank you guys for rocking with me. On Periscope, we got Momo246. Got that number 1. She dropped the number 1. I'm sorry, I'm not sure what the number 1 means, but whatever it means that you're rocking with me. So I appreciate that. Please, if you're still rocking with me, Momo, drop me what the number 1 means because I want to acknowledge it and want to rock with you this morning. Thank you so, so much for joining. Velda says, sometimes my significance and my abilities to reach out. Feel you. Yep, yep. Sometimes we are challenged to reach out. Sometimes we're challenged with just feeling like we're important enough, that we have value in this world. And one thing, Velda, that I've discovered is that you matter. Otherwise, you wouldn't even exist, right? You matter. The thing that I've learned is I have to find the people who resonate with me. I got to find those who are, cosmically connected to me because everybody ain't feeling me. Everybody ain't feeling the what. Everybody ain't feeling the I help people to see. Everybody ain't, that's cool. It ain't gonna change me though because this is who I is and I ain't flipping the script. But it's learning to stay at it and learning to home in to populations or individuals that are checking for you that really need who you are, right? Because you bring something to the plate. You bring experiences, you bring knowledge, you bring wisdom, you bring insight to the plate called life. And so, because I know that, right? Because the only reason you even exist is because God created you with and for a purpose and a contribution to the betterment of our society. So you already rocking with something dope. It's just finding those people that will affirm those things. And so let me be one in your life, Velda. I will continue to affirm you and continue to let you know that you are dope, you are awesome, and you are significant in this world and within our society. So thank you so much for rocking with me. Andrea says, as an educator, I love that statement. Helps us to reflect on what challenges are we leading each student out of. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. That is awesome. Thank you for anyway, on some other personal stuff, because that's so encouraging. On some other personal stuff that I'm working on, I'm so glad that you are an educator and that you found value in that, because I'm looking to start to work with more educators, because I may not be able to reach all the youth or the children, but because I have such a broken past and such a busted up childhood, I'm looking to cultivate and to take all of those experiences and be able to speak to that younger crowd, be able to speak to those younger people. And sometimes it's through the educators, sometimes it's through the teachers and the faculty, sometimes it's through the parents, right? That I can reach, that would then flow down into the lives of these young people, because I feel so passionate about the formative years and how we are deflated in those formative years. So Andrea, thank you so much for letting me know that. She says, and what successes are we leading them toward? That's critical. That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. I am so encouraged. That's dope. Angeline says you have to find out the root cause and where it starts. That's right. That's right. LaWanda says I can relate. I grew up in a perfectionist environment. Yes, yes, yes. See, I knew I wasn't crazy. I knew I wasn't only one. Couldn't make mistakes. You just described my brother. Wow. Wherever that is and whatever that is, that's man. Wow. Wow. So I pray that your brother gets this. Maybe share it with him or invite him or just let him know about the broadcast. Let him know that the content is out there. Because if it can help, or if you're saying, maybe I was making a good point and you're saying that he don't need no help, that's where he is. Because I don't know where in my flow that you said that comment. But either way, thank you for letting me know that I'm connecting some way with your brother, whether it's on the he needs help side or you're validating that he's doing well side. So whichever side that it's on, praise God. All right. Momo says rejection. Okay, so that's what it was. Okay, I have experienced self-doubt. Yes, we all have. That's why, man, I'm turning this broadcast, like I said, this PowerPoint, I'm creating a master class for this one. I'm creating a course for this one. We're gonna develop this one. I got some other stuff that I'm developing as well, but this thing about doubting and this thing about just not really believing yourself, especially for the faith community. Especially for the faith community. I see so many people believe in God, but find it very difficult to believe in themselves. They believe in God. They believe in the higher power, the creator, the infinite one. They believe in all the great possibilities. He's a healer. He's a way maker. He's a this, he's a that. But then, you ask them, how much do you believe in you? Not that you shouldn't believe in God, but you're his creation in his likeness and in his image and in his nature. How much do you believe in you as a part of him? How much do you believe in you as a piece of him? You are an expression of God. So why are you doubting you? If you believe in this great God and you are an expression of this great God, why are you doubting yourself so much? He's flowing through and with, and even as, if you're ready for that one, you, as you, through you, and with you. So anyway, I won't go on that trail too much, man, but I see so many believers believing in God, but not believing in themselves. All right, Momo says, single parent home. Yes, yes, I grew up with my grandmother. Yep, mom wasn't ready, pops wasn't ready, so grandma had to step in like like so many grandma does, so many grandma. But God, that's right. Mama said, but God, that's right, but God. Overlooked. Yep, but God. That's a testimony. Yes, yes, yes. Amen. All right, cool. Let me get back to my power pizzy, my PowerPoint, so I can go ahead and finish out this morning. Let me go ahead and get over here. Let me double click here, share here. Let me toggle back to make sure I'm on. Perfect. All right. And if you're just now joining me, forgive me for such a bland PowerPoint. Had to just redo it and do it fast so that we could, go live this morning on time. So boom. All right. So we talked about where it started. We talked about how doubt is developed. So how do we stop doubting ourselves? How do we stop doubting ourselves? Number one, understanding, guys, that you control your capacity. That's right. You control your capacity. That means, get this, my personal development coach, my mindset coach taught me something that literally just transformed the way that I mean, thought about all of this, right? Game changer for me. Game changer, guys. He said that we control the capacity. God controls the potential. Now, he didn't say it that way, but what he said was basically that potential. I call it the possible. Uh, that's none of our business. That's up to the creator. That's God's business. Your potential, your longevity, your impact in the world, your influence in the world. If you just are a very authentic, congruent individual, your potential to influence and to impact and to advance in this world, that ain't up to you. That's God's business. But this is what is your business, your capacity. Guys, we have a capacity to grow in any area of our lives, right? I'm a two-time personal trainer. As a personal trainer, the very first thing I learned was that the body has within it the elements for growth. We can trigger, boom, growth, meaning we can increase the size and strength of a given muscle or muscle group anytime we want to. Why? How? Through training. Remember earlier we talked about training through our exposure and our environment, right? Through that education, right? Through our environments, our experiences, our expectations. We're training ourselves and leading ourselves out, right? Guys, with the physical body, you can train your physical body to increase its capacity to overcome load or weight. Okay, might be getting too technical for you. Check it out. Real simple. If you go to a gym and they give you a 200-pound barbell, 200-pound barbell, on day one, you can't lift it. Okay, fine. Now go start lifting a 25-pound dumbbell for 4 weeks. Now increase that to 50 over the next 4 weeks. Now increase that to 75 over the next 4 weeks. Now increase that to 100 over the next 4 weeks. You guys get where I'm going? See how that's happening? You incrementally increase your capacity. And now 6 months later, you're able to lift, boom, that 200-pound barbell. You couldn't do it day one, but you have within you, woven into the DNA, the very fabric of your life, you have woven into you the ability and the growth hormone to increase your capacity. The same is true of your doubt. The same is true of your belief. You can train your mind, you can train your internal strength to overcome the adversities of your environments, experiences, and expectations. Guys, you are in control of your capacity. Potential is God's business, capacity is our business. It's just that simple. So how do we stop self-doubting? By starting to believe in ourselves. And how do we do that? Right here. You fill in the blank. Environments. That's where you take yourself. That's where you take yourself physically, meaning the places that you literally go. It's where you take your mind. It's the things that you watch. Because when you watch TV, your mind is going there. That's why it's called programming. That's why it's called programming. Depending on the channel you choose, you're taking your mind to that channel, to that station, and whatever on that station, whatever in that news program or that show is going to program something. It's going to it's going to send a message to you. That's why it's called broadcasting. It's casting a broad net. Just like I'm on right now, I'm casting a very wide net with this information, and somebody's going to pick it up and somebody's not going to pick it up. Those that pick it up, they'll be better equipped to make better decisions about their self-worth. Okay, so you control the environments. So you fill in the blank. Where are you going to start taking yourself physically? The people that you go around, the places that you travel, right? The things that you listen to, the music that you listen to, the people that you listen to, relationships, all of that. What environments are you going to take yourself to? Number two, experiences. You don't have to just experience whatever life throws at you. You can take authority over your experiences. Now you can't change or you can't control everything that happens to you. Some things it's just out of your control. But those are far and few between. If you really think about it, the mass majority of the experiences that we have are ones that we put ourselves into, are the ones that we set ourselves up for. So a lot of the experiences, they are not out of our control. Only a handful, right? And so you have to decide, what experiences do I want to have in my life? What do I want to create? What do I want to have? What do I want to do? Where do I want to go? Who do I want to become? Being very intentional, being very aware, being very conscious to the experiences that you're creating. Lastly, expectations. You fill in the blank. You begin to create expectations for yourself that are incremental, that are equal to your current capacity with a little stretch. A little stretch. For example, we talked about weights earlier. We have a home gym now with this COVID and everything that's going on. We can't go to the gym. My wife and I, we built a home gym. We got some dumbbells over there. Okay, here we go. Here's how we do this. I want to lift 200 pounds. Okay, I'm going to, I want to lift 200 pounds. Currently, I can lift, let's say 150. I'm not going to train at 200 pounds. I'm going to train at 160. Can I get that up one time? Yes, boom. Okay. 2 days from now, can I get that up 3 times? Yep. Okay, cool. Maybe I can go to 170 after a few days, few weeks. Boom. Now I'm up to that. Boom. What I'm saying is that start where you are. That's your base. So if you're at a 150 weight and you want to go to 200, that's the goal. Don't go to 200 and pull your back out, right? Right? Don't jump to 200 and pull something, and now you got to go to the doctor, and now they got to wrap you up, and now you incapacitated and you can't do nothing. If you're at 150, guys, go to 160. Yeah, just 10 pound bump. Just go to 10, boom. I train at that, boom. Whoo, I'm feeling good about myself. I'm feeling good. I'm building confidence. I'm building belief. Whoo, I was at 150. I can do 160 twice. Boom, give it 4 weeks. I can do 160 4 times. Whoo, okay, you build momentum. Boom, 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 build momentum. All right, here we go. Let's try that 170 now. All right, cool. Do that 170. Boom, get it up twice. Bow, bow, got it up twice. You were at 150. Now you're at 170. That's progress. That's dope. That's progress. Celebrate. Honor yourself. Pat on the back yourself. High five yourself. You feel me? Do yourself right, man. Incremental successes, incremental wins. You're going to get to the 200, but just start with the incremental. Set better expectations. Start where you are and give yourself just a hint of a challenge and nail it. And then acknowledge that you nailed it. Hope that makes sense. All right. So that's how we stop doubting. We take control. We don't have to control everything, but there are some things that we should be controlling, and we should be more aware and we should be more conscious to the environments that we are taking ourselves into, both physically and mentally and spiritually. We should be more controlling of the experiences that we want to have in life. And we should learn to control the expectation a bit more, right? Stop overdoing it. Stop putting too much on your own back. And you feel like your back is about to break. Oh, my back is about to go out. Yeah, because you carrying too much weight. Ease up on yourself. Lighten up. Stop punishing yourself. All right? We're evolving, guys. We're evolving. Stop huffing and puffing trying to get to the finish line so fast. Enjoy the jog. Enjoy the marathon, man. Enjoy it. Right? Stop and smell the roses, man. Look around. Enjoy the scenery, dude. Stop. Slow it down. Slow it down. You'll get there. All right. Guys, starting to come to the end here. Got 2 more things for you. Number one, daily question. How do you stop self-doubt? Well, we just talked about how to stop it and how to start believing in yourself by taking control of the very elements that lead to either doubt or to belief. Again, as I recap based upon my own memory, because I ain't got it in front of me, right? Exposure. It starts with exposure. From exposure, it leads to education, right? Through what we expose ourselves to, we are then educated or trained and led out. Based upon that, we come to conclusions and ideals about ourselves, right? Through the three elements. Number one, through the environments, right? Where we are exposed to things through our environments, and we're educated through our environments, through our experiences, okay, and then through our expectations. All right, cool. Daily question, guys. Every morning, every morning. Matter of fact, drop me a hashtag that makes sense. If you're still rocking with me live or on the replay, if what I just said makes sense, just drop me a hashtag makes sense. I want to make sure that I'm clear, right? My 2021 goal: clarity, congruency, consistency. That's it. I want to be clear, I want to be congruent, and I want to be consistent in my communication. That's my goal for the whole year. That's it. That's all I'm gonna focus on. My three C's for the whole year. That's it. That's it, man. That's all. That's all I'm focusing on. Every time I go live, every time I speak, every time I share, is it clear to me, my intention, and is it clear to my audience? Am I congruent? Am I coming from a deep place, or am I just throwing some fluff out there? Right? So checking for that. Is it from the depth of me, or is it something I'm just trying to tag along with whatever is popular right now, right? Because I ain't trying to play that game no more. And number three, am I being consistent? If I said, I'm gonna drop a podcast on Saturday at 7, is it? I mean, is it there? If I'm gonna go live at 7 every Saturday, am I going like you feel me? Because I think those are the bedrocks for me that's going to move me in the natural, in the physical, from where I am to where I aspire to be. Because I'm already there here. Now there's some things that I have to initiate in the physical that's going to move the needle. Okay. And so maybe that means something to you as well. So maybe you learned something from that as well. So daily question, guys: what will I expose myself to today? What will I expose myself to today that will train me to believe in me? That's where we started. Exposure. Your exposure is training you. So now you're better equipped, empowered by this information that I shared, for you now to ask yourself the question every morning. Remember, questions are questions. Quest. First four letters, first five letters of the word question is quest. Your questions lead you on a quest to find an answer. That's why it's so powerful to leverage questions. Because if you ask yourself the right question, then it's going to lead you on the right quest to find what you're really looking for. Remember, we find what we look for, but sometimes we're asking the wrong question. And because we're asking the wrong question, we're led in the wrong direction, and we end up in places, destinations that we never intended because we didn't ask the right question. So the right question is, what will I? That's intention. It's built in, like I'm going to expose myself to something, right? The very question acknowledges I'm going to do this. It's just a matter of which ones will I choose for me. What will I expose myself to today that will train me to believe in me? Write that down. Write that down. It's on the screen. Write that down. That's a dope question to ask yourself every day. That's dope. That's $1 million question. I ain't lying. That's $1 million question. Oh yes, man. That's powerful. That's powerful. To wake up with that on your mind, what will I expose myself to? Because it instantly creates awareness that you are exposing yourself to something. Now it's just a matter of what I will expose myself. What will I expose myself to today through my environments, experiences, and expectations? Those will dictate what you expose yourself to. All right. Last thing, guys, I want to end with this quote: believe in your infinite potential. Your only limitations are those you set upon yourself. Believe in yourself, your abilities, and your own potential. Never let self doubt hold you captive. You are worthy of all that you dream of and hope for. Guys, come on, come on. Today, guys, believe, 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 believe. I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing and I'm gonna toggle back because if anyone dropped any comments, I want to chop it up with y'all. Are there any other comments? Are there any other comments on here, guys? Believe, believe, believe. Velda says makes sense. All right, all right. Lawanda says makes sense. Yes. Lawanda caught it. Yes. Questions. It's a quest, right? It's a quest. Yeah, it's a quest. We're going somewhere. Every time we ask ourselves a question, we're going somewhere. Velda, I'm doing that now. I'm exposing myself to a positive learning experience. That's dope. That's awesome. That's awesome. Because that's what I want to create. Yeah, stop it. That's what I am creating. Yeah, man. Real time. You are witnessing it. Velda, you hit it. You nailed it. Woo-hoo-hoo. Bam. That's what I'm doing. I don't care how many people are on here, live on the replay. No, 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 no. Guys, you're creating it. What are you creating? What are you doing? What are you being? Not because of what other people do or say, not because of what outcomes you're experiencing. What is it that you what will you be today, guys? And that's my intention, a learning experience. I don't want to be somebody that just throws words out there and fluff and just regurgitates everything else that someone else is saying. You know, I don't try to be different. By being me, I am different. And if I can just expose myself enough, then I can, empower somebody else to be different. It's okay to be different. It's okay to be you. And you nailed it, Velda. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. It's an experience. Guys, if you guys are not knowing about let me do a little promo here as I close. If you guys are not knowing about the I Am the Possible podcast, guys, I am taking this idea called I Am the Possible, and I am totally unpacking it this week. This week's episode, I am unpacking what I Am the Possible is, where it came from, the influence that it had in my life, and the influence that it can have in your life. But with every episode of this podcast, with every episode, it's my intention to share an idea that will inspire in you a greater awareness, acceptance, and appreciation of the worth that you have in this world. Right? That's the mission. And so each week, guys, if you've not subscribed, if you are a podcast listener, or if you know podcast listeners, I would love your subscription. I would love for you to subscribe. I would love for you to rock with me each week. As soon as I jump off of this broadcast this morning, then I'll be finalizing this week's episode and getting that uploaded. It's on Apple, iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher. It's across multiple platforms. So whatever your preferred platform is, I'm there. But I would love for you to listen in and to leave a review, leave a comment, just to interact with me. Because again, guys, we are here as contributions. You are a contribution, and you can choose to contribute yourself in just so many different ways. Whether it's going live on a broadcast, whether it's writing a new book, whether it's creating a podcast, whether it's creating a blog, whether it's creating a ministry, whether it's creating Zoom meetings where you share your life experiences. Those are just some of the more common ones that I'm thinking of. But you in your own creative world, in your own creative space, how does God want you to contribute yourself? Because now, as you develop more self belief, you're going to start to get extremely inspired, extremely creative in ways that you can allocate yourself, right? Because once you become aware of your value, you begin to accept it, you grow in your appreciation of it, then you begin to allocate. Allocate. I love that, man. Those are my four pillars. Those are my four pillars, man. Allocate yourself, contribute yourself, give yourself away. Yeah, man. Let God use you, man. Let God shine his love and his grace and mercy through your life. So that is my encouragement. That is my encouragement. I am at my time, guys. Um, love you. Praying for you guys. Believing in you guys. As always, have a phenomenal Saturday. Have a phenomenal weekend and next week. And stay safe out there, guys. Right, regardless of what they say. What's your conviction for you? Because there's a lot of junk that's being communicated right now, and people just popping off at the mouth and just sending stuff and posting stuff. Man, miss me with all that. Ask God what He wants you to do with this country and what He wants you to do with your own body, and go in accordance. He knows. We don't know. I don't know, but He does. Trust in Him. Put your hope in Him. Put your faith in Him. All right, let me shut everything down. I love you guys. I'm praying for you guys. I am believing in you guys. My man, Richard says outstanding. You, my brother, are outstanding. HP says what's going on with the big thumbs up. That is my brother from another mother. Dude, I love you. Dude, I appreciate you. Dude, man, that's my man right there. HP, Mr. Puwat. Mr. Puwat, that's my man right there. Man, Ace Boom Coon, as we used to say back in the day, baby. Dating myself. Ace Boom Coon. CMB, baby. That's my man right there. What's going on, Ev? What's happening with you, brother? I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And brother, I appreciate you. I see your posts. I see your grind. I see your direction. Man, keep doing you, man. Keep doing you, my brother. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for supporting me. That means a lot to me, man. Thank you. Velda, I have come this far after reading your book. Praise God. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I don't have a book to share. I don't know where I just put all my books. I don't know where I just put all my books. I don't see them around me right now. Do I got one behind me? Nope. I don't know. I've been taking my books everywhere this week, so I don't have one to flash up here. But man, thank you so much, Velda, for giving me big ups on the book. And Momo, blessings to you as well. All right, guys, I gotta get up out of here, man. You guys are awesome. You guys are phenomenal. Thank you again so very much for rocking with me today. Let me find my outro so I can do this thing right, man. If you're just now joining me, go back and check it out. Today we talked. Today we broke out the PowerPoint, baby. We broke out the PowerPoint. I became Professor What today. So if you're just now joining me and you want to learn how to stop doubting yourself and grow and build in your self-belief, then go back, start this thing over, man, and walk with me, walk with us through the lesson that I shared today. I will definitely be turning this into a master class and packaging this thing on a professional level, because I think that so many people need to begin to believe in themselves. Like I said earlier, so many Christians believing in God but not believing in themselves. So many people in our society believing in other people, athletes, reality TV show stars, YouTube stars and TikTok stars. I mean, we believe in everything and in everybody except ourselves. Time out for that, man. Benito. Time for you to start believing in you. All right? Love y'all, man. Praying for you guys, believing in you guys. Until next time, it is Treveal C.W. Lynch. I'm out. Peace.